Hi everyone, I'm Antoine Mikhtarian, and today we are talking about the first band I ever played in. So probably most of you know that I started playing guitar at 11 years old. If you don't know, well, watch the video, because I've done a video on the subject, so you should know. But I only joined my first band at 15 years old, so 4 years of loneliness in my bedroom, sadness. But that was over at 15 years old, because I joined the band after basically meeting another guitar player, while we were each waiting for our guitar lessons with our respective guitar teachers. And while we were talking, he said, well, I'm in a band. And I said, oh, well, I don't have a band. Well, would you like to join? And easy peasy, now I am in a band. That's how I joined the Spaniards, or Made in Spain, or Out of Nowhere. The Urbans? I mean, we changed names too many times. And it was a blast, because for the first time in my life, I was able to crank up the amp and then rehearse for 3 hours and, leave the room with your ears completely messed up. And you shouldn't do that. Now I use ear protection and yeah. But there was a really big, fun, liberating thing about, playing super loud and And so basically we were a pop rock band with 2 guitar players. I was the rhythm guitar player and backing vocalist. So the other guy was the lead guitar player and main composer for the band. Then we had drums, of course, and a singer, so no bass player. With that lineup, you will see what happens next. With that lineup, we kind of rehearsed for a couple of months, and then we played one show at the beginning of the summer, and it was a super show. I mean, if you ask me at that time, it was really great, because we played in front of 100 or so people, and it was only friends and friends of friends. So, the audience is already super excited to see you. So it went really nicely. It was my first concert, so when I was still with the adrenaline rush after the show, I went to see Miguel Rivera, so my guitar teacher at that time, who came to watch me play live, and I went to see what he thought of my overall performance. Basically, I thought that he would say, "Oh my God, Antoine, it was amazing. I don't have anything to teach you anymore. Can you teach me lessons?" Or something like that. I don't know exactly what I was thinking at 15 years old, but that was, I think, mainly what I was expecting. And he basically said, "That was good. We have a lot of things to work on." And so even if that was super disappointing to hear, that was basically super true. So good thing to have a guitar teacher at that moment. The show was great, except for the singer, because what I didn't say is that our singer had, some problems with pitch. He wasn't really a good singer. He was a very so-so singer. The only problem is that he was the kind of singer where everybody said to him that he was singing super great and that he was a great singer. So he didn't question himself at any moment in his life until that point, because basically in the audience there were, a lot of people that knew him already, but some people that didn't. And so those people basically filmed and said to some other people that the singer was really bad. And so, people told to more people, and it came to the singer's ears. And so you could say that, okay, at that point he decided to take singing lessons. Well, no. At that point, he decided to quit singing, and he said, I'm going to pick up the guitar. So we had a meeting with other guitar players, so the leader of the band, and I said, 2 guitar players and no bass player is already weird enough. 3 guitar players and no bass player is completely stupid. If the singer wants to stay in the band, he has to learn how to play the bass, otherwise he's not useful for the band, so he has to quit, or you have to fire him. But none of that happened, so I left the band in the middle of the summer. Very important thing. Things happen in the summer. After the summer, I went back to my student life in high school as normal, being a lonely guitar player, And early in the year, so in September or October, the lead guitar player phoned me while I was still in the class. So, of course, I didn't answer because you have to have some respect for the teacher. He called my mom, who then picked me up after the classes, and she explained to me that they needed me because a producer was coming to see them rehearse, and that the singer, who now was the rhythm guitar player, so he kind of took my place at that point, he wasn't going to show up, so they needed a second guitar player. And so, of course, I came there to save the day. When I arrived, I had the pleasure to meet their new singer and bass player, all in one beautiful person, very nice guy. And so it was like, okay, now we have a bass player and a singer who seems to know how to sing. So it was great. I arrived like an hour before the producer was supposed to come. So I learned 3 or 4 songs on the spot. And I mean, that could be impressive, but I mean, basically, the songs were like this. Just let me show you.
So yeah, the songs were like this.
Then to the verse. So yeah, you get the picture. So pretty simple stuff. No disrespect, by the way. I'm in very good terms with the composer and lead guitar player of that band now. And I imagine that he's now composing other stuff and probably more complex stuff. I mean, we were 15 or 16 years old. So yeah, the funny thing, by the way, is that it was a teenage band, a pop rock band, doing very, common chords and also singing about common things when you are 16. So it was all songs about breakups and girls and, feeling lonely and those sort of stuff. And the funny thing is that the composer, the one who was composing the songs and writing the lyrics, he was a pretty popular guy in his high school, and he wasn't really getting through any breakups or anything like that. Yeah, he was kind of inventing that just for the, it was kind of the genre that wanted that.
I'm gonna put that back.
We performed them in front of the producer, and he loved it. So woohoo! We are now working with the producer, and I'm now back in the band. And now we were officially called the Urbans. Yes, we have a producer and a name. Woohoo! We played 7 or 8 shows in a little bit less than a year, like a scholar year, from September to June. Some pretty great concerts with, good audience, and because the producer had some contacts and, everyone in the band had friends. So we had a couple of pretty great shows, but, it's coming, we had that. But summer was coming, and you know what happens during the summer? The middle of the summer, the lead guitar player calls me and says to me, well, Antoine, I feel like doing something else. I don't know, I want to explore new genres or new ideas, and I don't want to keep up with the band anymore. And so that's basically how the band ended, because he was the one composing and doing everything. The good thing about that band is that, well, I met our singer and bass player, and we went along super well. And, we started a very great friendship, sort of a bromance, So we were listening to the same music, we were seeing each other very often, going to shows together. And because we had more or less the same tastes in music, we decided that we wanted to form a band together, a heavier band, with him on vocals and bass, me on guitar, and we just needed a drummer. So, pretty easy peasy, but that will be for a next episode. And that's how my first experience as a band member went. And of course, if you want to know how it went for the next band, just let me know in the comment section if you are interested, and it will be my pleasure. It's always great chatting with you. By the way, if you have anecdotes that you would like to share, funny anecdotes about, bands or stuff like that, just leave them in the comment section so that we keep on sharing and talking to each other. And of course, if you want to support me and my channel, there are links in the description where you can buy t-shirts from these brands, so Super Naughty. And you can also check out my band's merchandising, so that will be super great if you check that out. And of course, you can always subscribe to the channel, share this video on your social media, and like the video if you liked it. Those 3 things are free, so you are free to do so, and it's also very helpful for the channel. That being said, I've been Antoine Mikhtarian, and I will see you very, very soon.